Chapter 1 of Dwellers in the Hills. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by MaryAnnS. Dwellers in the Hills by Melville Davisson Post. Chapter 1 The October Land. I sat on the ground with my youthful legs tucked under me, and the bridle rein of El Mahdi over my arm, while I hammered a copper rivet into my broken stirrup strap. A little farther down the ridge Judd was idly swinging his great driving whip in long snaky coils, flicking now a dry branch and now a red autumn leaf from the clay road. The slim buckskin lash would dart out hissing, writhe an instant on the hammered road bed, and snap back with a sharp, clear report. The great sorrel was oblivious of this pastime of his master. The lash whistled narrowly by his red ears, but it never touched them. In the evening sunlight the cardinal was a horse of bronze. Opposite me in the shadow of the tall hickory timber the man Ump, doubled like a finger, was feeling tenderly over the coffin joints and steel blue hoofs of the bay eagle, blowing away the dust from the clinch of each shoe nail, and pressing the flat calks with his thumb. No mother ever explored with more loving care the mouth of her child for evidence of a coming tooth. Ump was on his never-ending quest for the loose shoe nail. It was the serious business of his life. I think he loved this trim, nervous mare better than any other thing in the world. When he rode, perched like a monkey, with his thin legs held close to her sides, and his short, humped back doubled over, and his head with its long hair bobbing about as though his neck were loose coupled somehow, he was eternally caressing her mighty withers, or feeling for the play of each iron tendon under her satin skin. And when we stopped, he glided down to finger her shoe nails. Then he talked to the mare sometimes, as he was doing now. There is a little ridge in the hoof, girl, but it won't crack. I know it won't crack. And this nail is too high. It is my fault. I was gabbin' when old Hornick drove it. On his feet he looked like a clothespin with the face of the strangest old child. He might have been one left from the race of dwarfs, who, tradition said, lived in the hills before we came. His mare was the mother of El Mahdi. I remember how Ump cried when the colt was born, and how he sat out in the rain, a miserable drenched rat, because his dear bay eagle was in the mysterious troubles of maternity, and because she must be very unhappy at being on the north side of the hill among the black hawthorn bushes, for that was a bad sign, the worst sign in the world, showing the devil would have his day with the colt now and then. I used, when I was little, to hear talk once in a while of some very wonderful person whom men called a genius, and of what it was to be a genius. The word puzzled me a good deal, because I could not understand what was meant when it was explained to me. I used to ponder over it, and hope that some day I might see one, which would be quite as wonderful, I had no doubt, as seeing the man out of the moon. Then, when El Mahdi came into his horse estate and our lives began to run together, I would lie awake at night trying to study out what sort of horse it was that deliberately walked off the high banks along the road, or pitched me out into the deep blue grass, or over into the sedge bushes, when it occurred to him that life was monotonous, tumbling me upside down like a girl, although I could stick in my brother's big saddle when the Black Abbot was having a bad day, and everybody knew the Black Abbot was the worst horse in the hills. Wondering about it, the suggestion came that perhaps El Mahdi was a genius. Then I pressed the elders for further data on the word, and studied the horse in the light of what they told me. He fitted snug to the formula. He neither feared God nor regarded man, so far as I could tell. He knew how to do things without learning, and he had no conscience. The explanation had arrived. El Mahdi was a genius. After that we got on better. He yielded a sort of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?